toxic. The issue with digital ID is that you link it with age verification. And to be clear, age verification, what that essentially is, people don't understand it because it's digital. But what age verification essentially is them putting a camera next to your liquor cabinet. And every time you get in and out of there, they watch to make sure that you don't serve that liquor to a child. It's them going into your home and ensuring that you be a decent human being, right? That's not the government's job, to make sure that people raise their children correctly, right? I mean, within reason, we want to make sure that like children aren't being abused in the home and whatever. But for the most part, we need to trust parents to be decent human beings, right, in their own homes. Because the other side of that, the trade-off for the 100% protection of all youth is the absolute relinquishment of all rights and freedoms and the ability to critique the government. Because if you say anything negative about the government and they've got a camera in your home, they will know about it. So that's part one. Age verification is actually about knowing everything that you do and tying it to a digital ID. Digital ID is digital ID in the physical world. So once everything that you say, do, and think online is tied to your digital ID, then digital ID manifests the consequences of that into the physical world. So they can control you. They control you access to your bus pass. They can control access to the grocery store. They can control your entertainment rights or access, right? They can control how much fuel you can buy, right? They can control everything about you based off of what you do online. So that's those two things tied together. And then you get to central bank digital currency, and now they have the keys to your wallet. So it's all those three things linked together. And age verification is part of it. People say digital ID and central bank digital currency are sort of the two main risk factors, but they don't understand that digital ID, the way that works is that you have to be identified online. So the way that digital ID actually becomes an issue is when it's married to age verification. But they already passed that in the UK. That was the first part. That's the worst aspect of the digital ID, is actually the age verification. Because what they can do is they can say any social media site you're on has the risk of exposing children to unwanted content, so you have to age verify on every single website you visit. Well, that means you are now self-identifying. Everything that you do online, you are saying, this is me, 100%, this is me doing it. So now they have a very legally sound, proof that you were online and you said these things, which may or may not be popular with the current power in the government, right? And now those words that you saw or said online, again, are tied into the real world via digital ID. It anchors those two things together. Again, last but not least is sort of an extension of that. I mean, that already is bad enough, those two things. But then the extension is a centralized bank digital currency. So digital currency, the problem with that is that it's digital. Now, why is that not an issue with Bitcoin? With Bitcoin, it's decentralized. No one's in control. No one authority is in control of your money. With centralized digital currency, there is a centralized authority in control of your money. And it's not like a bank. It's bad. We've already seen political debanking. So people were actually not able to access their bank funds, or maybe even lost their bank funds because of political statements. That can ruin lives. It can ruin your business. It can ruin your ability, your credit, your payment credit, right? The issue with it being centralized at the currency level is that now not only can they close your bank account, but if you had like a backup emergency supply of cash, like in a safe somewhere, guess what? Now that's digital, right? That's all in a digital wallet. And all they do is they just push a button and suddenly that digital wallet doesn't work anymore. All that cash disappears. It's like they went into your home and stole the money out of your safe, right? So what people don't understand is that it's all digital, and so they don't understand it. Age verification. It's a violation of privacy. It's an unlawful search, unwarranted search, without even probable cause. They are searching you constantly, everything that you do, to make sure that you're being a good person. So it's an invasive search that isn't warranted. And then it's efficient. They always say it's efficient. Yeah, it efficiently ties to control, right? It efficiently ties to your digital ID, which is then used to access things in the physical world. And then it's connected to your wallet. Your thought, it's all it comes down to at the end of the day is thought control. It's 1984, it's thought police. That's what it is. And it all ties into a social credit system. Gets tied into everything goes under the guise of carbon credits, right? That's the masking that they'll put over the top of it. But at the end of the day, it's just social credit, right? It's social reputation score. And again, the biggest problem with that is that not all of us agree on what's socially reputable, and not even and those beliefs change over time, and they need to change over time, right? They need to adapt as we learn and grow as a society and as people. But They can't grow. They can't adapt. If you have someone in power who likes things the way that they are, they're going to lock those in, because anyone who tries to counter that or discuss possibly changing things becomes less socially reputable, so they can't discuss them. You can't change. You can't grow. Growth ceases. Okay? That's the risk of this, is it becomes a prison. It is a dam to humanity. It stops them from moving forward. They are damned. And it's basically the worst thing that we could do as a society. China's already doing it, but China, they're big on slavery. So, what can you say? The UK should be freer than that. And they're trying to do it in the US, and we're going to have to fight it and continue fighting it here as well. They try to do age of verification already. Some states have already passed it, which is fucking terrible. Those need to be challenged and be proven unconstitutional, because it's an unlawful, unwanted search and seizure of your online activities. If you're not doing something illegal, they shouldn't have any business knowing about it. All right? And people are like, well, save the children. Again, the problem is that you're giving up the rights of the entire population, exposing them to an authoritarian state by giving the authoritarian state 100% control over everything you do and 100% awareness over every thought you have, in exchange for giving the government the ability to parent your children. It's like you're not even saving the children, and you're selling everything. It's like you're selling your soul, right? And you're getting basically nothing, because you could just protect your own children. You know what I mean? And for those that aren't being protected, there's other issues there that we're going to have to deal with, you know what I mean? That are bigger problems than letting them get access to this inappropriate content online, right? It's like we should devote resources to the other threats to the youth that are out there first. You know what I mean? If we're going to trade anything, any of our rights, it would be to protect them from that type of stuff that I'm alluding to, right? That actually has direct physical, immediate consequences on them. That stuff needs to stop, right? And we're not even addressing that stuff. So, and the thing is too, is like none of these kids, like as soon as they're 18, they're going to do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? So, you're buying them a couple of years from being exposed to adult content, and you're selling the entire soul of the country in exchange for that. It just does not justify the price that you're paying as a society. Anyway, could go on, but that's this tweet. So this is actually Ron DeSantis, so Florida governor, right? Telltale signs the digital ID push in the UK is backfiring. They want more control and to layer a central bank digital currency over it, and the people are rejecting it, which is good, but I don't know. I don't know if the rejection is strong enough yet. You've got some petition signatures, you got some people outcrying, but they really, at this point, even with age verification, they should have been in the streets. If that happens in the US, you need to be in the streets protesting it. It's like they should already be out in the streets every day and night protesting this until it goes away. And this guy in charge, this Steimer or whatever the fuck his name is, that dude should be on trial for treason, frankly, because this is a UN agenda. It's a foreign agenda that he's pushing against the will of the people. He's undermining the will of the people for a foreign entity that he hasn't declared himself an agent of. I'd say pretty much any legal book, that's treason. He's a traitor to the people, and he needs to see trial for that, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's for that tweet. Yeah, aliens aren't getting any traction at all. Apparently, disclosure agreement failed. Our Congress is fucking retarded. Senator Mike Lee, Jesus fucking Christ, for the love of God, do your goddamn job. Represent the fucking people. I know you know what's going on, and you're just not wanting to talk about it because it's like politically dangerous to, acknowledge that there's an NHI presence here, even though the only reason it's like politically inconvenient is because the government has been so corrupt that they haven't actually allowed us to be aware of the reality of the fucking world that we live in. Like, that needs to be fucking addressed, okay? It's that fucking critical that they aren't actually allowing us to know the true nature of fucking reality, okay? Talk about control and slavery. And you're just not doing shit about it. It's one of those things that you should be risking everything to make sure that fucking changes. And you're not. Especially if you've been briefed, and I guarantee pretty much everyone in Congress at this point has probably been briefed or been exposed to someone who's been briefed. And they know what the fuck is going on, and they aren't doing shit about it because they're fucking cowards, okay? If you're not fucking solving this problem, you need to be fired. You need to be fired. And you need to be fucking... I don't know. There isn't like a punishment that is Like I would say it's again borderline treason. Americans can't be democratic and they can't vote for proper representation if they don't really know the state of facts of things, of nature, and what's going on in life, right? If they don't understand what is actually happening in the world, how can they make logical democratic decisions? They can't. So you're undermining the democracy for authorities that aren't elected authorities. They're intelligence authorities, they're military authorities that aren't elected, and they are undermining the Constitution. That is treason, and if you are backing them up, you're complicit in that treason, and that should be something that carries a legal consequence. So anyway, that's how fucked everything is right now. It's been a bad day.